Tenerife is one of the most visited places by British holidaymakers every single year. When you arrive there, it's easy to see why. It's an absolutely beautiful place with a ton of things to offer, and I'm about to show you why so many people return here for holiday every single year. No matter how organised I think I am, I always feel like I forget something when I pack. Whether I pack a day ahead of time, 3 days ahead of time, or an hour ahead of time. But one thing I always try and remember is that unless you are going to the Amazon rainforest or somewhere so remote that they don't even have a shop, you're going to be able to buy it at the other end. So don't stress. Passport, phone, money, you're all good. Anyways, I'm about to set off to Tenerife for 7 days, and I haven't been there since I was a kid. Last time I went was 15 years ago, and although I used to go a bit as a kid with my family, I'm sure it's changed a lot, so I'm keen to go and experience that and just, live out some childhood memories and see what it's like now. I'm going to take you along on this one, so hopefully I can give you a little bit of an insight into what it's like there, and you can just see a bit of my holiday too. Let's go. And we are touchdown in Tenerife. Before we left the UK, we booked a rental car for the week through the comparison website called Kayak, and we paid around about 140 euros for the car and full insurance for the whole week, just in case anything happened. Now, there's a lot of ways to get around, and if you're in the heart of it and you don't plan to travel too far afield, then you might not need a car. But if you're planning to travel to T-Day or the north to Loro Park or anything like that across the week, then doing this and having that vehicle for the week could save you a lot of money on taxis, transfers and stuff like that. So it could be a good idea. What? We got our little whip for the week. Suits you, brother. The scenery here is unreal in every single direction. Have a look at this.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens, God.
We've landed ourselves with a bit of a pad. We've got 2 beds, kitchen, living room, beautiful balcony. It's looking good.
Take me for granted, and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I speak.
There's a lot of different options with accommodation when you get to Tenerife. There's hotels, villas, apartments, Airbnbs, and really it's going to depend on what kind of holiday you want. But one thing I would say is that if you were planning on eating out a lot, you could probably get a really good value self-catering, some kind of villa or apartment, and save some money in that respect. But also there are some really good value all-inclusive deals too. And the hotel we actually stayed in, called Mary Lanza, was all-inclusive. It was good value, good food, good drinks, and we actually, as a result, only ended up eating out twice. When it comes to eating and drinking out, there's something for everyone. There's Veronica's Strip if you want to go out and go clubbing and everything else. There's bars, karaoke bars, and tons of restaurants, and also sports bars too, if you're trying to catch up with the football or watch some kind of sporting event. When it comes to restaurants, you're going to get the higher end stuff, and you're going to get the kind of more good value stuff. Across the board, I think the quality is really good, but obviously if you go to some of the nicer places, we went to a steakhouse called Taurus that was absolutely out of this world, and if you can get there, I would highly recommend it. The area we stayed in was Playa De Las Americas, and just up the coast from that is Los Cristianos, and in the other direction is Costa Dequi. They're kind of the main 3 places that most people stay when they fly to the south of Tenerife, but you have also got Los Gigantes, which is slightly up the coast, but we didn't get there this time round. Los Gigantes has all of the big cliffs and that kind of scenic stuff, and there's meant to be a really, really windy drive down there, and it's meant to be really nice.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop.
So we're now down in Los Cristianos, which is a little bit further up than Playa De Las Americas, and it's nice. Down here, as you can see, it's got like a really nice coastline. Just everywhere here looks so nice. the thing that always gets me is no matter where you are, if you look around the coastline, the mountains, they are everywhere, and almost you've got like a mega backdrop wherever you look. So you got beach either side of the port, and the port is where we're going down now. This is where you can catch the ferry to like the local islands, and I imagine this will be where cruise liners stop off if they come in, and you've got Tenerife on the stop of your cruises. But either side, to the left of me, you've got Los Cristianos Beach, and to the right, I'm not sure, Playa Las Vistas, which is another beach, which I think is kind of in between Playa De Las Americas and Los Cristianos. Los Cristianos is also a little bit on the kind of lower end market, like the hotels, the buildings there generally speaking look a little bit more run down, and that's not to say there's nowhere nice there, but just keep that in mind when you're booking, that it's not as built up and it's not as modern as like Playa De Las Americas, and then Costa Adeje again is a little bit maybe more built up and modern than Playas as well. I always hear Costa Adeje get recommended for couples, but I think that's quite a difficult thing to recommend to people because every couple is different. But what I think most people are trying to get at is that Costa Adeje is a little bit quieter, and that Playa De Las Americas is where kind of most of the nightlife is, clubs and bars, and then Los Cristianos is generally a little bit set up more for families.
As you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away.
If you're looking for a holiday that really has everything to offer, where you like chilling out but you also like plenty to do, I think it's always going to be quite hard to beat Tenerife. In the centre of it, you've got the highest mountain in the whole of Spain, as well as the third tallest active volcano on Earth. You've got the Siam Park, which is the massive water park, which was voted the best water park of the year for about 6 or 7 years in a row. You've got Loro Park in the north, which is a park with dolphins and killer whales. You've got loads of island hopping tours. You have got some whale and dolphin sighting tours. You've literally got everything there. That is on top of all the things I've previously mentioned, where you can just chill out and take things easy, and you've got the typical kind of holiday stuff as well. One thing to mention as well is that because of the location of Tenerife, which is just off of the northwest coast of Africa, just off the coast of Morocco, it's kind of nice weather all year round. And although it gets a little bit cooler in what we would call the winter months, it's actually it never gets cold, and during the summer months it's just in that perfect mid-range of like late 20s to early 30 degrees Celsius, and the place is blue skies most of the time, and it's incredible. In the winter, something to note, if you do go up to Tide or go up to the north of the island, it can get a bit cooler, but I'm pretty sure in the south of the island, generally speaking, as long as you've got a jumper for the evening, you're going to be pretty confident to be able to wear shorts and a t-shirt most of the year round. Tenerife isn't a massive island, and to get from the south to the north, you're probably looking in between an hour and a half. And to get up to Mount Tide from Playa Las Americas or Los Cristianos region, you're looking at about an hour each way. If you want any more info on the specifics or how to get the most from a day trip to Mount Tide, check out my other video. And outside of that, I appreciate you watching. If you found this helpful or useful anyway, please like, subscribe, or just drop a comment down below.